Hello everybody. On Friday, the March 22nd, Indian share markets have raced by 0.39%. But on the other end of the spectrum, the IT index, the companies within the IT sector have fallen down. Infosys, for example, their shares have fallen by 2.78%. Wipro's shares have fallen by 2.46% and TCS shares have fallen by 1.6%. While the overall market sentiment is in the positive direction, why did all the IT companies have fallen down? What was the negative news that was impacting the market? And by the way, this news is not coming from India. It is coming from the US. Accenture, which is listed in the US, has announced their quarterly performance, the prior 3 months report card, and they mentioned that their revenues were pretty flat, but they mentioned that also their future outlook, it's not too positive. And that was a big shock to the market. Previously, they projected that for the next 1 year, they will grow by 2 to 5%. But now, on Thursday, they highlighted that their growth will only be between 1 to 3%, which means they are lowering down the expectations of the market, which came in as a shocker for the entire market. The overall market, first of all, has been noticing a lot of positive big deals. TCS has announced a few big deals. Infosys has announced a few big deals. So people were expecting that the rebound has already happened. But Accenture news is actually a shocker. And why is that? Why is just correcting the expectations such a big deal? In the last 10 years, Accenture has changed their revenue expectations or lowered their expectations only once. Of course, leaving out the pandemic period, they last lowered the expectations in 2013. So you can see a company which usually does not cut down the expectations doing that was a big jolt to the market. And add on top of that, the new guidance is that they will grow from 1 to 3%. And the 3% growth is also not organic, which means more clients are not coming and giving them business. They are going and acquiring new small companies, and these small companies' clients in turn will become their own clients. So they are saying that our revenues will grow through these acquisitions. That is inorganic growth. Now that's a big problem. We will also dig into what kind of acquisitions is Accenture doing over the last few months. In fact, in the last 1 year itself, Accenture has acquired close to 25 companies. What are the other things that are driving Accenture's lower expectations over the next 1 year? And before we jump into a few reasons, a quick request. Please do go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and I will make sure that I will keep you up to date and also keep sharing you the trends with respect to what's happening in the industry. So let's start with the first and the thing which is on top of everybody's mind. There are a lot of generative AI deals that Accenture has announced. Accenture highlighted more than $650 million of new deals or new revenues are coming from generative AI in the last 3 months itself. And so over the last 6 months, this amount has totally accumulated to $1.1 billion. So it's positive news, right? Unfortunately not. What the analysts highlighted is, it is not new money that the clients are paying to Accenture or TCS or Wipro. They are cutting down their spend on other areas and taking out money from that different areas and putting that money into artificial intelligence, which means net for companies like Accenture, there is not much of a big positive. Other projects are going down and these projects are increasing. That's a big bummer. Now, the second thing we also have to realize is this is globally an elections year. We have US, UK, India, some of the major economies going into elections. And last time when Donald Trump was the president in 2016, there was a lot of ruckus around the H-1B visas. And there is a lot of dependence for the IT companies on H-1B visas. If the election results come out one way or the other, there is a lot of risk for these IT companies. Hence, also the discretionary spends by the clients is little bit still not growing. The third factor is, over the last few months and few quarters, the US markets have been flat, but for TCS, for example, European markets were very good. UK has grown by 8% in revenues. Even for Accenture, not the 3 months that they just announced the results about, but the prior 3 months, that is the September, October and November 3 months of 2023, their European revenues have increased by 2%. But in the latest quarterly results in the last 3 months, that is December, Jan and Feb of 2024, they mentioned that their revenues in the Europe are also falling down. Accenture results typically come 1 month before the entire market, right? TCS, Infosys, WIpro, all of them will also release their results next month. So if the trends are to be noticed by what Accenture is saying, it means that the European revenues for all the other companies are also at risk. So the companies which are all dependent on the Europe's growth now have to face a risk. So this is another angle that is playing out with respect to Accenture's revenues. Now the fourth thing, we go back into the organic revenue growth versus the acquisition-based revenue growth. Accenture very recently has acquired a company called as Navisite. It does digital and cloud transformations through AI. And now Accenture has acquired 1,500 plus people from Navisite. And they are going to work within the architecture and engineering teams of Accenture. What does this say? If the company can't grow its revenues, they will go ahead and try to grow their revenues by acquiring the talent who is already out there in the market, by acquiring companies. So what is the incentive for the companies to grow talent internally and upskill employees within AI? If you are somebody who is believing that, hey, my company will upskill me on AI, so I'm not too worried, I'll take 2 to 3 trainings within my company, then that's not the right way to look at it. Because companies, one way or the other, they want to grow. And if they are falling behind, they would rather go acquire talent, acquire companies so that they get revenues right from day one, rather than training all the employees, which might take a much longer duration. They also acquired another marketing tech company. We know the implementation of AI right now is actually pretty high compared to other industries within marketing, whether it is for content, whether it is for ad campaigns. So that's another shrewd addition by Accenture. Now, Accenture and other global companies like Capgemini or Cognizant, which are not listed in the Indian share markets, but other markets around the world, if their guidance is weak, it would reflect on the Indian IT markets as well. But the shining light in this entire picture is they are growing through acquisitions within a specific topic. And if we upskill within that topic, that's AI, we still would be able to survive in this market. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.